Well, hello there, St. Luke's. It's good to be back with you all for this midweek message. I'm actually here on Wednesday, May 17th, a little afternoon, just putting together this message for your edification. And so we are still sort of basking in yet another wonderful Sunday, another wonderful, we had not only a baptism, Rosemary O'Lear, I was baptized at the 10:30 service, but following the 10:30 service, we had our first under Jessica Maples, our women's director, our first annual women's ministry luncheon, and it was just a wonderful event. I think we had something of 130, 150 people. The food was delicious, thanks to the Hog Heaven guys. The administration and the coordination just went seamlessly. Everything from the music to the, of course, I was biased with one of the speakers being my own wife, but I wasn't present because I was helping in the nursery. But the fashion show, we thank the Church Mouse for outfitting the Pockets Full of Sunshine people that were walking. We thank Cindy at Island Child for dressing up the little girls and the fruit of the Spirit. And above all, we do thank Jessica for her sort of tireless effort that went into producing this wonderful event. And so I'm so grateful for all of the volunteers, for all the people, for the sweet spirit, the testimonies that were given. I wasn't able to hear it, but for what I hear, you had the sort of three mothers in ministry at different with different sort of age groups that they were of their children, and sort of reflecting on lives of faithfulness and motherhood and challenges and joys and all of the various things. It was something that many people have come to us and said it was just one of the sort of the best women's event luncheon that they have been to in some cases ever. So that's high praise. Unfortunately, it was not recorded. There was a glitch in the system, but we are going to take care of that to ensure that doesn't happen again. So I am looking forward to sitting down with Liza and getting some of her direct reflections and notes. And I am disappointed won't have the audio or the video, but we have a lot of pictures and a lot of video of the fashion show, which of course was the cutest thing in the entire world. Particularly with the little girls. And again, thank you to Island Child for that. So that's where we are. As I mentioned last week, we are rounding the corner this week. This Sunday, Heritage Sunday, is sort of a normal Sunday for us. We have our 8 o'clock and we have our 10:30, and I know that I'm experiencing Heritage for the first time here, even though we were already here last year at this time, but we were over in Africa during this week. So it's been a wonderful experience so far. I've been blessed to have been given 2 tickets for Saturday, so I don't foresee being seen in any dramatic way running out on the course or anything, but Liza and I are very blessed by y'all's continued generosity and provision for us, and looking forward to being a real island native by participating in Heritage, and of course getting decked out in plaid for myself and all of our presents for family members for the foreseeable future. So I'm excited about that. But I was meeting with the executive committee today, and we were talking about some things, and I had some suggestions of sort of information points to share with you all, which I heartily agreed with. And one of them concerns the screens, or the lack thereof at the moment, in our 10:30 service. And so I wanted to just communicate to you that we are, for a variety of reasons, we are trying out this new system with a bulletin. And so we have welcomed the feedback that we've received. There's been a lot of overwhelmingly positive feedback. There's been some questions as to why, and there's been some discussions, some really frank and good Christian discussions taking place over the need for them, or the sort of the now the windows are open, or the standing, or the looking up or looking down, and all the variety of things. And so we are taking all of that under consideration. And so we're grateful for your feedback. So stay tuned, because there's not an official. I mean, the screens are still there. We use them for the Rector's Forum if you came on this Sunday, and they're retractable, and it's really quite an engineering feat. But for all sorts of reasons, at this moment, we are going to we're trying this bulletin, and so stay tuned again and pray for us. Pray for wisdom. We want. At the end of the day, we want the most easily accessible yet faithful to our tradition way of worship that will include that will edify lifetime Anglicans who know the prayer book back and forward, but also will be not a barrier of entrance to people who have just showed up because they heard how great the music is, or how beautiful the building is, or perhaps even how edifying some of the sermons could be. So anyway, so there are so stay tuned on that. I also wanted to alert you to what we're going to be doing in May, and we're going to sort of what kind of half jokingly call this Membership May, because as you can imagine, over time in the transition from paper to digital and all the various things, we have a bloated sort of directory full of people, some of whom we know very well, some of whom we have not seen for many years, and everything in between. And so what we are going to be doing, and they haven't the details aren't out there yet, but I just wanted to plant this seed, is that in between services, and we're going to make it obvious, we're going to have a table, and you're going to have an opportunity to update your sort of information for us. You know, where some you may have moved, you may have bought another house and you live here part time now. You may live here full time. You may not have actually gotten your letter transferred from your former church, and you're unaware of that. And there are all sorts of things in between. So bear with us, because it's a mighty effort to keep the sort of administration and the information that we have sort of up to date and sort of accurate. And so we're doing the best we can, and we need your help. So stay tuned for more information about Membership May that we're going to have. Also, just so you know, now that we've gotten past Easter, now that we've gotten past sort of, you know, almost 2 years in to my life as rector here, we have convened a small group through the vestry, and with Kelly and I are going to be part of putting together sort of a long-range plan, sort of a 3 to 5 to perhaps 10-year plan, and that'll include everything from a vision for family ministry, youth and discipleship, all the way to evangelism, pastoral care, worship and discipleship. You know, the three things that we focus on are the ministry of word, sacrament, and worship, and these are the three sort of main things. And so stay tuned on that. Again, I'm just throwing some seeds out there and wanted you to know where we are, what we're thinking about, and what frankly we're excited about, because there's just been a wonderful, as I was telling you last week, a spirit of charity, of gratitude. You know, it's no small thing, and many of us cannot forget how we felt when we thought we lost the building, and we thought that the whole thing was going to be a rebuilding, and then to have it been given back to us is an amazing gift. And I think that continues to bear fruit in our lives as Paul says, you know, what do you have that you did not receive? Well, indeed, you know, what do we have that we did not receive from the hand of a gracious and loving Father? And so we continue to be grateful for that. But at the same time, we're also, we need to be wise, and we need to be good shepherds and stewards. And so pray for us, and we'll let this be known. There's not some sort of, secrecy around this, but we're going to be putting together kind of a vision map for the future, which of course will simply be the sort of local execution of the work of a church, the fellowship, the apostles' teaching, the fellowship, the breaking of the bread, and the prayers. And so these are the marks of the church. These are ones that we will embrace, have been embraced, and will continue to uphold here by God's grace at St. Luke's for for your edification and His renown. Okay, the last announcement I have, is a repeat announcement, but it bears repeating, is that some of you, as many of you know, if you've been watching this, our curate for youth and family, Patrick Weber, is headed off to seminary, and so we are collecting monies even now for a seminarian fund, which there have been some questions about. This will be going not directly to Patrick, but it'll be going to the school, so that's part of the situation. we're also going to we don't have another seminarian right now, so anything you give is essentially going to be supporting just Patrick and Danielle in their new life up at Nashotah. And it is true that we are turning our Derby, our May 4th Kentucky Derby party is by the BMOC Derby Day Bash is what we're calling it, is going to be a wonderful event that we invite you to sign up for even now, and that will in fact be the proceeds of the fundraising component of that will go to the seminarian fund. But if you are already planning on contributing to this fund, well then you can go ahead and make your contribution, because just for accounting's sake and just for peace of mind and all the things, if you know that you're already going to participate, then we would invite you to go ahead and do so as soon as you would like. Okay. Well, I believe that's all of the information that I have to share with you. There's a lot contained in there, but suffice it to say, we will do our best to keep you informed, updated, and up to date on all of the various things going on. But fundamentally, our pledge remains to you that we will be worshiping the Lord in the beauty of holiness, and we will be upholding His Son and the word of the cross for His glory and His renown through word, sacrament, and worship here week in and week out. And that's our commitment to you, and it's a joy, a pleasure, and an honor to be able to worship, to lead, and to walk alongside you all here at St. Luke. So until I see you again, perhaps on the fairway at Heritage, but if not, then definitely on Sunday, many of you. The Rector's Forum back up normal in the Kranz Hall. It's sort of a normal Sunday that we haven't had in a while, but it'll be glorious. And so look forward to seeing you all then. Take care, and God bless.